Hello and welcome to another, daily devotion, Lenten daily devotion with Pastor Andrew. That's me. Today is the beginning of the Triduum, right? Monday, Thursday, Good Friday, Holy Saturday, or Vigil Saturday, or Easter Vigil Saturday, and then, of course, Easter. Easter is not part of the 3 days because it's separate. Easter is the beginning of the Easter season. So we are, two more Lenten devotions until we are through and we go back to weekly ones. How exciting, but also I hope this has been enriching for you. So today I've been calling them elements, objects. Objects maybe is a better word. Objects. Today specifically, the object is towels. What? How predictable, yet a bit of a surprise, yes? Why towels? I'm going to say probably because this is what Jesus uses to wash the disciples' feet, which is also a key element of this washing of Maundy Thursday. Maundy is celebration, it is cleanliness, cleansing, prepared, all these things. So, our reading comes from John 13, 1 through 15. Oh, look, and it is subtitled Foot Washing. Now, before the festival of Passover, Jesus knew that his time had come to leave this world and to go to the Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them fully. Jesus and his disciples were sharing the evening meal. Interesting. Because this is the Last Supper. This is the Passover meal. The devil had already provoked Judas, Simon Iscariot's son, to betray Jesus. Jesus knew the Father had given everything into his hands, and that he had come from God and was returning to God. So he got up from the table and took off his robes, picking up a linen towel. He tied it around his waist. Then he poured water into a wash basin and began to wash the disciples' feet, drying them with the towel he was wearing. When Jesus came to Simon Peter, Peter said to him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus replied, "You don't understand what I'm doing now, but you will understand later." "No," Peter said, "you will never wash my feet." Jesus replied, "Unless I wash you, you won't have a place with me." So Simon Peter said, "Lord, not only my feet, but also my hands and my head." And Jesus responded, "Those who have bathed need only to have their feet washed, because they are completely clean. You disciples are clean, but not every one of you." He knew who would betray him. That's why he said, "Not every one of you is clean." After he washed the disciples' feet, he put on his robes and returned to his place at the table. And he said to them, "Do you know what I've done for you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you speak correctly because I am. If I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you too must wash each other's feet. I have given you an example just as I have done. You must also do." Oh, that's the end. So, 1 through 15 of John 13, towels. Our devotion for today. Oh, this turned off. Oh, there we go. Our devotion for today, towels. I like this. Isn't it interesting that John doesn't identify this meal as the Last Supper or the Passover meal? It's either during the evening meal. Here in this translation it says, during supper. Towels around our waists. Our devotional writer writes this: "I turned the corner and headed to the elevator with my luggage, ready to go home after yet another work trip, when I noticed the housekeeper's cart in the hall. Large, cumbersome, stacked with little soaps, shampoo bottles, coffee supplies, linen towels, and Bibles. The juxtaposition caught my attention. There, tucked between the hand towels and the bath towels, was the word of the Lord, tenfold. I dropped my bags and took a picture with my cell phone. I wanted to remember the power of that image, but at the time, I I did not equate the visual with Maundy Thursday. Only after reading the story from John again did I make the connection and realize that towels and the Bible ought to be side by side and portable. That morning in the hotel, I thought mostly about the people pushing those carts up and down the hallways, doing physical work for not much pay. I thought about the time I left a whopping $5 tip and came back to the room, now clean and tidy, to find a note that read, "Thank you, have a blessed day, Rhonda." 2 smiley faces adorned the hotel sticky pad. The note served as a tangible reminder that the people pushing those carts and cleaning others' toilets were individuals with names and stories. Many, no doubt, fellow disciples who knew intimately and daily what it feels like to pick up a towel and serve. Perhaps that is why Jesus says the last will be first. I just want to pause here. It's interesting. In my college days, I came home during the summer, and I started a job. I think I started a job sweeping a garage, like a big repair garage for not semis, but like work trucks, like hauling trucks, and there was a truck that held all this equipment for welders. Anyway, I cleaned that, and now that I think about it, and this isn't a boast, but apparently I was too good at that job, because the person that had the job before me maybe could sweep that garage 3 times a day, and that's about all they could do in 8 hours. I started at 7. By noon, I'd swept it 5 times, and they had to find more work for me because they're like, well, this is pretty clean already. So I sat around a lot, and I actually was paid nicely. But I could, at the time, I just couldn't handle that. Anyway, all of this to say, so I left that job, and I took a job as a housekeeper at a hotel, a local hotel that was, one of the like 4-star hotels on the water. This was in Michigan, so it was on Lake Michigan. There was a beach. And in a matter of a month, I went from a brand new hire to running the housekeeping crew. We do have names, and yeah, we could have been paid better, but the staff and the owner of the hotel did take care of us. And where he was our boss, he was also very friendly. But yes, I do know what it's like to pick up after others, and I do know what it is to clean toilets that people don't think about who has to clean that stuff. So yeah, I relate. And it, and honestly, I just want to say it's kind of hard to read what our devotion writer is saying, and not kind of feel, a bit of a hierarchy comments there. We're cleaners, housekeepers are the same. We just come in and clean. In fact, I was able to clean a 1,200 square foot suite in 7 minutes, and it wasn't a horrible clean, like a quick bing bang boom. Okay, well, we got the basics. I cleaned everything, sanitized everything, went in, I got all the hairs, I got all the towels, I got all the rings around the tubs and jacuzzis, all that stuff. And I vacuumed, moved stuff, 7 minutes. 7 minutes. So, yeah. And then I went, and our crew, which I had to be interesting because I was 22, and a few people that worked for me were in their 50s, but we all respected each other. It's like, all right, we're going to get this done. I got some jobs for some friends. I got a job, I think I even got a job for Katie, my wife, and we cleaned, and I walked around, and we made sure things were clean, and we turned it around. It was great. And then we go across the street afterward and get some lunch, and or get some late lunch, because we worked until about 3. We got there at 5, I think. I got there at 5. Anyway, things to think about there. I don't know about that. I don't know how to take that. The last will be first. Are housekeepers last? What? Because they clean up after others? I don't know. They're kind of the ones in the background. Anyway, sorry, big rambling there. Oh my gosh, that was like 4.5 minutes. Okay. Jesus, during this last meal with his closest friends, with hours left of his earthly life, takes a towel, gets on his knees, and washes the disciples' feet. Even the disciple who soon would betray him. Yes. Something else to note here. Jesus treats Judas the same as all the others. He washes his feet. Makes him clean, right? He also is a part of the meal. He also is a part of the Last Supper. He is also, even though he does what he needs to do, and even though, as we know, later, because of shame and guilt, he hangs himself from the tree, he still is welcomed. I think we forget that. Someone recently wrote me an email and said, gosh, I never thought of this or that. And even in one of my sermons, I was like, yeah, grace for Judas. People in here get a bad rap. Judas gets a bad rap. He made a mistake. But without that mistake it's one of those things. It's like, well, if this didn't happen, would this have happened? And I think when it comes to that, I'm not saying, please do not hear that I'm saying bad things need to happen so good things happen. Because it really sometimes seems that way, and I don't like it. But it's something to think about. And I think how we need to approach it is, there's a bigger picture. There always is a bigger picture to everything. And if we believe what we claim to believe, then we really have to wrestle. What we really have to wrestle with is earthly things and heavenly things. Death is an earthly thing. Death hurts, definitely, but we know it's not the end if we believe and have faith in what we say we do. That's tough. Okay. The word and the towel together, inextricable in Jesus, let me start that over. Jesus, during this last meal with his closest friends, with hours left in his earthly life, takes a towel, gets on his knees, and washes the disciples' feet. Even the disciple who will soon betray him. The word and the towel together, inextricable in Jesus, and Jesus says in us. Maundy Thursday means that followers of Jesus serve. We are servants of the Lord of all, who willingly ate with sinners, touched lepers, welcomed children, and washed feet. Nothing is beneath us when Jesus is the rock upon which we stand. No one is less than, because Jesus died for all. Okay, so there you go. If we do not put the word alongside the towel and take them both door to door, house to house, town to town, to the ends of the earth, we are failing to follow Jesus. If we forget that those who push heavy carts down long hallways, or wake up before dawn to pick up trash, or get on their knees to scrub floors, or carefully wash the feet of the sick for very little pay, if we forget that they have names and stories, we fail to follow the one who not only knows them by name, but numbers the hairs on their heads. On this Maundy Thursday, pick up a towel. You can find it right alongside the word of our Lord, and get moving. All right, so again, and maybe this is different in other places, but my experience was housekeepers are paid rather well. Housekeepers are paid rather well. I don't think we should discount people for that. You don't need a big education to make a living wage. Now, of course, I completely agree that everyone needs to get paid what they're worth, and that doesn't. And the majority of the time, that doesn't happen. But when when you have leadership that respects those that do things that are in the background, like my experience was with that, you're taken care of, and you should be. I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm not discounting anyone there. All right. So our 3 questions with many questions in between. When have you served someone in a physical way, fed someone, or washed someone? Who was it? Has anyone served you in a physical way? What was that like for you? Have you ever participated in a foot washing service? Yes. People don't like that. And you know what? A lot of people react like Simon Peter. They're like, what are you doing? I don't know. It's interesting because people see feet. You know what? And honestly, I'm a little bit better, but myself included. People see their feet and someone touching their feet as just a little too intimate. And I really wonder if that is an American thing. I really wonder if that's an American thing. Nearly 20 years, and one of the first things that churches will say when it comes to Holy Week and Maundy, Thursday is they say, you're not going to wash feet, right? Because, we don't like that. And I used to fight that. I used to say, well, I think that's the point. You don't like it because, why? Right? So, anyway. Have you ever participated in a foot washing service? Yes, I've done a couple of those. What was meaningful about it? What was uncomfortable? If you have not done this, find a foot washing service to attend. I wonder if Roman Catholics, if they do that. I've never been to a Roman Catholic Monday, Thursday service. I wonder if that's just part of it, and it's just like, well, that's just how it is. I bet so. Anyway, I don't know. Today, every time you use a towel, be reminded of Jesus' instruction to wash others' feet. Oh boy. I used a towel today. I was so excited because I went to a store and they had bath sheets on sale. So those are big towels. Oh, I can't even imagine that could have washed Bigfoot's feet. Anyway, let's close in prayer. Oof, long. Servant Lord, on this day we remembered your meal with your friends, your words of teaching, and your acts of love. You, Lord of all, humble yourself and wash the feet of friend and betrayer alike. You hold back nothing for our sake, and we are awed by your grace. We seek only to be more and more like you each day, taking up a towel and sharing your word so that through our love, the world will know we follow you. Amen. So, like I said, each object for the 3 days. Let's see. So tomorrow's a different one. I bet you can guess what it is. Oh, tomorrow and Saturday is the same. And then there is one for Easter. Oh, and there's a whole new book at the end of this. That's a surprise. It's a Maundy, Thursday miracle. Let me get to, there we go. All right. So until tomorrow, God bless.